Alright, hello everyone and welcome to WWE Discussion. I'm your host of WWE Enthusiast, Doug. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing NXT July 11, 2023 edition of NXT. Would welcome the Judgment Day to the brand Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest returning to NXT. And Dominic Mysterio, well, I don't know if he's been on NXT before. I know he didn't come up through NXT, so I don't know if this is his first time there or not. But nonetheless, they were there, and they would take on Carmelo and Trick Williams in a tag team match in the main event. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action of this episode, starting with Chase U versus Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. So this was a fun match, building on the crowd energy, and while the Chase U student section certainly plays a role in Chase U matchups, there simply isn't a more energetic match than a Chase U match, especially with the Professor back in action. Gulak and Dempsey simply did not have a chance here, but they played their role well enough. However, NXT just doesn't seem to have a clear plan for these guys, who have been building other stars but not themselves, which is a shame because they are talented technicians, Gulak especially in the ring. That's backwards. There we go. Number one contenders match for the NXT title, Braun Breaker versus Dragunov. After a strong month of build, NXT threw together this match on a night where they were not going to be the main event, and while this should have been the main event, they still delivered the biggest moments of the night. They built to, and this match built to an impressive apex. The final 5 minutes were electric, and it genuinely looked like either man could win, but it would be Dragunov taking the win, and that was the right call. Breaker's story with Carmelo is done. Breaker's time in the NXT title scene is done. The Mad Dragon has never faced the A champion before, and could give Melo his best match of his title reign so far. And this also might be the last match for Breaker in NXT. He's put over multiple stars in NXT, and if he does go to Raw or SmackDown, he would become a dominant force. So the match is official: Dragunov versus Carmelo at Great American Bash for the NXT title, and it's not confirmed, but it seems likely that Braun Breaker is indeed on his way out to NXT. Truth be told, there's really nothing more for him to do there anyway. It is best for him to venture off to Raw or SmackDown. I would make him a free agent, let him float between both brands, and then kind of see where he can fit in. See if there's like a spot where he fits in, or maybe you can kind of have him bounce between opponents and stories. But nonetheless, Breaker, if this was indeed his last match in NXT, it is a solid last match. And then you had the fate of Tony D'Angelo, Joe Coffey versus Jane Stacks Orlando, and this was a match with multiple twists and turns. Stacks revealed that he did not betray the Dawn, but then he had to fight through all 3 men of Gallus to pull off a victory. Some of the reveals in this match were poorly timed, but the overall experience was a positive one. Stacks delivered in one of his better in-ring performances. Gallus did not lose much throughout, as the underboss had to use every trick possible to win. This story has been a full soap opera, for better or for worse. I don't really care for soap operas, but this wasn't the worst thing in it. Yeah, but this wasn't terrible. And at Great American Bash, could we see the family versus Gallus for the NXT Tag Team titles? I mean, we know the Tag Team title match is going to happen. The real question is, does it happen at Great American Bash, or does it happen before them? And does the family dethrone Gallus for the Tag Team titles? You know, has the family been built up well enough to be that team to beat Gallus for the titles? I guess we shall see. And then the main event in the show, Carmelo and Trick Williams versus Judgment Day. And this was a fun main event. Balor and Priest have found their chemistry as a team and worked well with Hayes and Williams. And while it is a shame to see the A champion lose again, it was inevitable. It felt inevitable here. Melo is still not ready to fight at the Judgment Day's level. However, in time, the A champion could build himself up to overcome the Brents if this feud were to continue. The miscommunication at the end between Melo and Dragunov protected the champion while building heat between the future opponents. All in all, smart end to a good show. So yeah, Hayes loses again. It'd be quite curious. Does Finn Balor get himself an NXT title match? Is there more to this story, or was this it? I guess we shall see how that one plays out. So, in conclusion, NXT was cooking at times. The crowd sounded hot, the action was solid. While nothing on the show might not be remembered in a couple of months, the show did exactly what it should. Breaker vs. Dragunov was not quite the NXT classic that it felt like it could be, but that did not stop both men from competing at a high level to make it feel important. Judgement Day may have started the show flat, but they made up for it by adding prestige to the main event. Damian Priest and Finn Balor make the talent around them better. Tony D'Angelo's story took a while to reach its conclusion, but the stage has been set for an exciting match to come with Gallus. The main question mark remains with the women's division. Tiffany Stratton, who does she face next? It seems likely that she has a rematch with Thea Hale, but that has to be more than just a good TV match. The two need to understand that they are representing the entire division if this is the NXT Women's title match at Great American Bash. Now, the return of Chase U is a great added element to the show. Duke Hudson working alongside Andre Chase, they just make the whole show more exciting. So the direction towards Great American Bash 2023 is strong. We have another match announced for the card that should be a great one. Mustafa Ali versus Wesley for the NXT North American title. So almost all the pieces are in place to make it a strong event, and perhaps maybe even a Topps Battleground. And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode of WWE Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.